One of you guys asked me what is my favorite lens for car photography, and today that's what I'm gonna answer. I have to go out to deliver some merch right now, so we're gonna go ahead and take the F30 out to go get some pictures as well for Instagram for the week, and we'll talk about my favorite lens. Hey, look at that. Stock mirror caps back on, baby, but this, you know, I had to sacrifice the mirror, guys. You know what happened. Merch has been delivered. Thank you so much for the support, guys. As always, the link to the store is down below in the description, as well as I'll link this lens that we're gonna talk about today. It's the Sigma 16mm 1.4. I won't keep you guys hanging. The Sigma 16mm 1.4 is an awesome lens if you're working with a Sony A series like E-mount lens, especially if you're working with the crop sensor cameras. Definitely look into it, but let's head over to the spot where we're gonna grab some pictures, work this lens a bit, and I'll talk about it some more and bring you guys a little bit into the light on why it's my favorite lens for car photography. I'm out here at the drinking water supply area for the local village. Oh, we got a little schmegma up in the grill, so we'll get rid of that real quick. I'm rocking the Sony A6100 with the Sigma 16mm 1.4 lens. This is my favorite lens for car photography. I love it because of its wide angle. It's 1.4 f-stop, so I can get up real close. It's great in low light, good at that nice bokeh when you want it. It's a great all-around lens. It's good for vlogging too. If you guys are into that, like vlogging as well, it's great. But I wanted to get out here today, show you guys the lens, get some content for the week. Ooh, that's actually a great picture right there. I think I'll snap that right there. Maybe a little bit over, actually. Or, yeah, I just want that dead on shot, first of all. I do use a couple different filters on my lenses. So if you guys want to see a video on this, I do stack my filters. So if you guys do want to see a video on how I do that and kind of why I do that, let me know. Put it down in the comments. Another thing I love about this lens is just how sharp it is. Like, I'm trying to think of something we can take a picture of that will really exemplify that. Maybe the lights. I'm gonna kind of try and get, oh my gosh, this is a disaster. I'm gonna try and get a shot here at the taillights. Nice. And I don't know, this lens is just insanely sharp. I love it for that reason. I was using the kit lens for the longest time. The kit lens was a 16 to 50mm, so it wasn't like, I mean, it was very diverse in that range, but as far as the f-stop, it was really horrible in low light, and its clarity, it was so noticeably different than this one here. This lens is just a beast when it comes to clarity. I don't know, of what I've shot with so far, this thing far surpasses everything else. I haven't taken a shot, this side is not my good side of the bumper. See if we can get a shot of the headlights up front here. Maybe try and do something really up close. I'm gonna drop this down to like 1.6, and I'm gonna use my filter to darken it up. When you're shooting on f1.4, or really anything really that low, your focal point is so small that you really need to make sure you're doing a good job at focusing on what it is that you want to be focusing on, because like I said, it's so small. It gives you that great bokeh and blurry background, but it requires you to focus very well on the subject of your photo. I also like underexposing my photos a bit with this lens. I try to shoot around -1.3, so 0.3 of a single stop, I believe that would be. And I find that with this lens, I can bring the midtones and the shadows up quite a bit versus overexposing the photo right out of the camera. I find that shooting it a bit dark and bringing it up in post works better. So I think I want to try and get a shot of these wheels in a bit of a different way to maybe try and just exemplify the stock ones. Some stock boys there, and let's see what else. I kind of like this dirty shot here, so maybe we'll drop this down to like, again, a 1.6 and try and just get a very focused picture here, but on the tire I think would look pretty cool. That looks dope. And because I restocked on the banner, head to the website if you want to cop one. I've got a few left. I'm gonna go ahead and grab a picture of the banner. Beautiful. And I think that's that should wrap it up for pictures, guys. That should get me through the week. I always love taking the SD out of this camera, putting it into the computer, opening up Lightroom for the first time and seeing what this lens produces. The pictures are just breathtaking almost every single time, guys. So if you guys are interested, again, I'll have a link down below to this lens in the description. Go check it out. They have this lens for, I believe, Nikon, Canon, Sony. So whatever it is you're working on, I'm sure they have this lens to mount to your camera. But let's head home now and talk about a few final points to this lens. I should mention this as well about this lens. If you guys are into videography or doing any sort of video, it's not a stabilized lens. So what you're seeing right now is just me holding the camera, which also doesn't have any in-body stabilization. So there's really no actual stabilization happening right now as you see it. So this is what you can expect if you're rocking the same setup as me without stabilization. Though if your camera does have in-body stabilization or you pair this lens with a stabilizer, it makes it just buttery smooth. Pairing that with the crispiness of the lens is just, it creates some really beautiful content. So I'm really happy with it. Almost home now, so we'll just hop out of the car and make a few final notes about the lens, some things I want to mention. And yeah, guys, it's just sick. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of it so far, the pictures that we took today. Let me know what you guys think of this lens. Back home now, and just a few final notes I want to make about this lens. So one, it's crispiness. The sharpness of the lens is great. If you're shooting in 4K, if you're just using it for pictures, you will definitely notice the difference, especially if you're coming from a kit lens like I did. It's night and day. So if you're thinking about investing in a lens, I highly recommend you looking into the Sigma 16mm 1.4. The other thing I just want to remind you on is the stabilization. Again, this lens does not have any in-body stabilization. However, one thing that you do gain is more sharpness, and I don't know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the autofocus on this lens is really good, and I think it has something to do with it being a non-variable lens. So it's a single focal length. It's only 16mm, it's always 16mm, whereas lenses that have, like my kit lens, 16 to 50mm, so it does have zoom. I mean, I don't know if it has anything to do with the autofocus, but I think it does help with sharpness of the lens, and I think it does help with the autofocus. But either way, this lens is killer at autofocus. The minimum length is right about there, so we can quickly go from one to the other. And you guys can see how quick it does it. It's my favorite lens for shooting cars. It's the wide angle, getting up close. Its ability to shoot in low light at night is so great, and I can't speak highly enough about it. So if you guys are interested in looking into this lens, I will have it linked down in the description. Go check it out. As always, guys, oh, they're ripping some sleds, eh, kid? Anyways, I will have links down in the description to the store as well if you want to pick up some merch. I've restocked with, like I said, the banners are on the website. I've got a couple sand hoodies left, new stickers on the website, so go check it out. And with that being said, guys, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, because apparently, how silly it is, but YouTube doesn't let you know when I upload sometimes. So make sure you hit that bell so that way you do know when I upload new content and you don't miss videos like this. And with that being said, leave a comment down below what you thought about today's video. I'll catch you guys next time. Keep elevating. Peace out.